Wall Street, the 20th in the last 23 trading sessions. Unprecedented run of volatility on our Dow. It's finished just sort of crazy to watch, up and down. And a lot of people run the numbers on it. You know, it was 7 years ago. 7's kind of important. Biblically speaking, it was 7 years ago that the World Trade Centers fell. So 7 years after that great awakening, which I believe is how the Lord desired for a tragedy like that to be used in the heart of America. Oh, great awakening, come back to me, trust in me. A little wake-up call 9/11 was, and a lot of people rushed back to church, but we're now, after experiencing an all-time high of church attendance 7 years ago, we're now back to an all-time low. And so another awakening comes along 7 years later, almost to the week of the towers coming down, crashing down, the markets come crashing down. And since they've come crashing down, this is rather interesting. The Dow finished 733 points down, second worst ever for the average, topped only by a 778 point decline not too many days prior. So, you know, I think the Lord really wants to get our attention. And I just am very, very thankful that the Lord desires to make Himself known to the likes of us at all. And if we really knew what was at stake, eternity and all, then I think we would take these wake-up calls very, very seriously. Abraham Lincoln said this, and I quote, "We have grown in numbers as a nation, grown in wealth and power, as no other nation has ever grown. But we have forgotten God. We have forgotten the gracious hand which preserved us in peace and multiplied and enriched and strengthened us. And we have vainly imagined in the deceitfulness of our hearts that all these blessings were produced by some superior wisdom and virtue of our own. Intoxicated with unbroken success, we have become too self-sufficient to feel the necessity of redeeming and preserving grace, too proud to pray to the God that made us." That was Lincoln over 100 years ago. Washington said, "The man must be bad indeed who can look upon the events of the American Revolution without feeling the warmest gratitude toward the great author of the universe, whose divine interposition was so frequently manifested on our behalf. And it's my earnest prayer that we may so conduct ourselves as to merit His continuance blessing, with which we have hitherto been favored." End of quote.